Hi, I'm Jim Gilsdorf, Jordan's dad. I'm an employee of Lockheed Martin in Fort Worth, Texas.
How long have you been with Lockheed Martin? What types of positions have you had, and what is your current title?
I've been with Lockheed Martin a total of 22 years. I've actually left the company 4 different times and have come back in different positions. I've had jobs in engineering, within production operations, and probably about half my time has been within quality and mission success or quality assurance division. I've had different management positions in both operations and quality. My current position is I'm the quality engineering principal for F-35. In this position, I'm responsible for defining the product acceptance criteria and all of our test processes for F-35 assembly, which includes a lot of our ground tests to verify that the airplane is ready for flight tests and then delivery to our customers.
Cool. What experience have you had doing global business with Lockheed Martin?
I've actually taken 2 relatively large business trips overseas with Lockheed Martin. I also did a lot of work with international customers internally. Externally, back in the early 90s, I spent a few weeks in Taiwan with one of my quality assurance positions. My responsibility to go over there was we had maintained program management for an airplane we designed and developed for Taiwan's government, and I was sent over there to address some of the manufacturing problems and some of the quality concerns they were having on their aircraft. About 2 years ago, I was sent over to Italy. The F-35 program has large potential international customers. One of the things we do with most of our airplanes to offset the cost to international customers is they actually produce part of the airplane. So it was during the early establishment of their production effort. They were building a part of the center wing and they were having some significant manufacturing issues with there. So I went over there and worked with their management team, helped lay out their factory, and make their assembly processes for the piece they were building at that time more efficient and more effective in what they were doing. They were having a high rejection rate at that time.
Okay.
I'll go back to the other part. Most of my international business with Lockheed Martin was back in the F-16 days. F-16 we have sold to probably 15 different nations right now. So at that point, most of my time during that period was I was in engineering, and I was training a number of their engineers that were going to engineers from Korea, Turkey, Israel, Egypt, a number of the European countries that actually were going to be building parts of the components in their countries, and I was training them on the engineering techniques for evaluating repair options during their assembly processes.
Okay. When traveling, were there any cultural norms that were different from American culture?
I've only seen a little bit, but we are very much aware of it. Like I said, we've been in various countries with all our businesses. The C-130 program, which is a large cargo airplane built in our Marietta, Georgia facility, actually has many more international customers than the F-16 did. So we as a company have had a lot of different experiences with the cultural norms of different countries and whatever. So before we go on any type of international business trip, we go through some training and some general training on how to act in international customers, because obviously we could be targets for adversary or terrorist personnel because of the nature of the business we're in and in a foreign country. But we then go through some specific training of norms of that country. It can be social things, it can be just the way that people act, different behaviors, whatever. Because of our product, one of the things we have to be very careful for, some cultures are very gift oriented, and we have to make sure that we don't ever accept gifts for our services that could be construed as of significant value that somebody might say would be done to try and influence more business practices or whatever. The only time I really had some experience with that personally was when I went over to Taiwan. I was asked to go over there as by the Taiwan government to oversee their things, and they wanted to show their appreciation, and I just had to explain to them that I could not take any type of gifts as part of my job or my tasks.
Okay. When you were traveling to other countries, were there any specific gestures or words that would come across as extremely offensive?
I haven't heard anything, but we have had, again, with part of our cultural training, that there were some very specific things that were identified in some of the countries. And of course, they identified failure points that had happened by other personnel years and years before, where we did not have that cultural training for our employees, and some of our employees, actually some of our executives, had gone to countries and had made gestures or whatever that are very positive here, but have a very different meaning in that foreign country. So that is something we take very seriously, and anybody that goes on any type of international travel or is hosting international people here in Fort Worth, we make sure that they get that training so they don't make those mistakes.
Okay, thank you.